Well, the Gold Coast now, where something is lurking deep beneath Evandale Lake.
We've all heard about the great variety of sea life swimming in our oceans. So the following stat may surprise you. According to the National Ocean Service, more than 90% of ocean species have yet to be classified.
A fisherman recently caught a river monster that amazed everyone. Fishing can be full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises are huge. The creature was enormous and looked like nothing anyone had ever seen before. What else might be hiding in the depths of our rivers? Join us to find out the scariest creatures from the depths of our oceans that will change the way you perceive our mysterious oceans. The strangest catch in Thailand. In Thailand, a fisherman set out to make a name for himself by catching a huge fish that tipped the scales at about 297 pounds. This wasn't an easy feat. The fish put up a strong fight, nearly flipping his boat over in the process. Despite the challenge, and even losing a paddle, the fisherman didn't back down. He worked hard to get the massive fish onto his boat and safely made his way back to shore. Now imagine catching a fish that's basically a 2-for-1 deal. That's what happened to one fisherman who found a very unusual fish in his net. This fish had 2 big mouths and 2 sets of eyes, which looked pretty weird. When he shared a video of this fish online, it sparked a lot of talk. Some people thought it might be due to a rare genetic mix-up, while others blamed it on pollution in the water. It certainly caught the attention of many. There's something quite unusual about finding fish in mud, but that's exactly what one guy discovered. While digging in the mud, he found several large catfish living in what seemed like a hidden water pocket underground. Typically, we think of fish as needing lots of water to survive, so this situation was quite surprising. It turns out that during dry spells, catfish can actually bury themselves in the mud where there's just a little bit of water, waiting out the dry season until the rains come back. Over in Hilton Head, South Carolina, someone filmed a pretty nerve-wracking scene. A fisherman was out by a pond, just doing his thing, when suddenly, an alligator charged out of the water at him. The fisherman had to run to avoid getting hurt. Luckily, he got away safely, and the alligator went back into the pond. This goes to show that when you're near water in areas with alligators, you have to stay sharp, because you never know what might happen. But wait, there's more. Have you ever heard of a fish that smokes? Well, a video that went viral shows just that. A fish puffing out smoke as if it's the most natural thing for it to do. The person recording the video couldn't believe what they were seeing. This unusual sight made quite a splash online, with people joking about it and others worrying about what it meant for the fish's health. No one has figured out how or why this was happening. In Indonesia, some fishermen came across a strange, white blob in the water. At first glance, they thought it was a dead sea creature, but it turned out to be whale vomit. While that might sound pretty gross, this type of vomit is actually very valuable. It's used in making high-end perfumes because of its unique smell, and it can sell for a huge amount of money. A young fisherman at Lake Russell had an incredible day when he caught an albino catfish. This fish is quite rare and has a striking look due to its lack of color, making it stand out. However, its unique appearance also makes it more vulnerable in the wild. Predators can easily spot it, and because it has almost no pigment in its eyes, it's nearly blind. During a fishing trip near Miami, an older couple had a shocking experience. They thought they had caught a big fish, but just as they were about to reel it in, a massive shark jumped up and stole it right off their line. This dramatic incident was caught on video, highlighting the unpredictable and wild nature of ocean life. And there's more. Have you ever heard about a fish with 2 heads? It sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, but it's a real thing. This condition, known as diprosopis, is very rare and occurs because of a unique combination of genetic and environmental factors. Sharing the tank with this unusual fish was another strange creature, a fish with joined eyes and no mouth at all. It seems the person who owns these fish has a passion for collecting some truly unusual aquatic life. Just when you think fishing can't get any stranger, a surprising catch in Florida shows there's always more to see. Florida fishermen caught a gigantic swordfish. On a fishing trip off the coast of Florida, a group of fishermen made an incredible catch. They cast their lines into the vast ocean, hoping for a big one. Soon, they felt a strong pull on their line and discovered they had hooked a massive swordfish. They quickly got the huge fish onto their boat and put it into a container filled with ice to keep it fresh. Back on shore, they weighed the fish, which turned out to be a whopping 182 pounds. After cleaning it, they prepared a huge feast to celebrate their catch. Catching something unexpected can really give you a shock. Like the fisherman who thought he was just catching bass but ended up hooking a great white shark. He didn't realize what he had caught until the shark swam under his kayak and jumped out of the water. Fearing the shark might drag him into the sea, he quickly cut the line. Thankfully, the shark swam away and no harm was done. This experience shows how powerful and surprising marine life can be. Imagine catching a fish that looks like it's turning its insides out. That's what happened to one fisherman who caught a giant grouper with its stomach bulging out of its mouth. It might look like the fish was sick, but it was actually experiencing barotrauma. This happens when fish are suddenly brought up from deep waters to the surface, causing their internal organs to expand because of the pressure change. Although it looked unsettling, the fish was generally okay, just a bit stressed by the rapid change. Stay tuned for more. In another instance, a fisherman caught an odd-looking fish with a pointy snout and tube-like mouth and turned to the internet to figure out what it was. People online quickly recognized it as a short-nosed sturgeon, a small but endangered species found in North America. Another video showed a similar catch, but this time, the sturgeon was bigger, with purple gills and a thick, strong tail. The fish put up a good fight, wriggling and moving its mouth and eyes in a way that almost made it seem like it was putting on a show. Then there's the story of a type of fish called pleco, which seems to have a trick up its sleeve. A person found several of these fish looking dried out and lifeless, but when he turned the fish over and poured water on its mouth, it started to move. It turns out that plecos can dry out and go into a sort of hibernation when water is scarce, only to wake up when they come into contact with water again. During a casual fishing outing in Florida, one angler's catch turned into a spectacle when his struggling fish attracted the attention of not one, but 3 large sharks. The sharks were quick to seize the opportunity, with one of them managing to eat the fish, although it got the fishing hook stuck in its mouth. This dramatic encounter highlighted the intense competition and unpredictability of life in the ocean. Keep watching for more. An intriguing video circulating online has everyone confused. It shows a fisherman who caught a bizarre-looking creature in a river. He couldn't identify it and decided to take it home and put it in water. The creature had a disproportionately large head compared to its slender, snake-like body. Online viewers speculated on its identity, with some suggesting it resembled a limbless pangolin. This unusual sighting has sparked a lot of conversation and guessing about what the creature could possibly be. In Boston, Massachusetts, a family-owned seafood business had an incredibly rare find on February 24th, 2021, an albino lobster. This type of lobster is so unusual that finding one is thought to happen just once in every 100 million lobsters caught. The lobster's striking white color made it stand out vividly among its darker tank mates. The seafood company was so impressed by this discovery that they shared pictures of the lobster on their restaurant's Facebook page, emphasizing just how rare it was. Over their nearly 100 years in business, they had come across lobsters in shades like blue and others with unique colors, but this was their first ever albino lobster. They decided to donate this special lobster to the New England Aquarium, thinking it deserved more than just being another meal. As the amazing catches keep coming, an unusual baby shark in Mexico brings even more surprises. Cyclops baby shark in Mexico. In the Sea of Cortez, Mexico, fishermen discovered an extremely rare baby shark that had only one eye in the center of its head. This condition, known as cyclopia, is known to science but had never been confirmed in a shark until then. Unfortunately, the little shark was no longer alive when found. However, its uniqueness provided a valuable specimen for scientific study. The fishermen donated it to researchers who were eager to learn more about such rare occurrences in marine life. In a small village in Thailand, a local outfishing encountered an unexpected challenge. While reeling in his line, he discovered that an unknown creature had clamped onto the fish he had caught. The creature, which had teeth firmly sunk into the fish, looked like a land animal with 4 limbs and a tail, but was found in the water, making it difficult to identify. After a short struggle, the creature let go of the fish, but lingered nearby, not yet ready to give up on its catch. Deep in the ocean, Russian fishermen were caught off guard by a strange catch. The fish they pulled up had an extremely long snout and unusually large lips, and its pale eyes gave it a ghostly appearance. As soon as the fish was brought to the surface, its body began to soften dramatically, suggesting it was a deep-sea fish accustomed to living under extreme underwater pressure. These kinds of fish rarely survive the transition to the surface because of the drastic change in pressure. And that's not all. On a kayaking trip in Dryden, Ontario, Canada, a person experienced something straight out of a mythical tale. As he paddled through the waters, he spotted unusual movements and formations in the water that resembled serpentine ridges. This eerie sighting caused a mix of excitement and fear as he and his companions approached for a closer look, only to find that the creature had vanished. While some thought they had seen a legendary creature, others dismissed it as a likely exaggeration or misinterpretation of natural water movements. In Guizhou Province, China, a fisherman caught a fish that had a head shaped like a bird's, complete with what looked like a beak. The fish, approximately 1 foot long, appeared to be gasping for air and presented an odd sight. Local news reported that such mutant carp were becoming more common in the rivers of southwest China. The video of this bird-like fish went viral, leading to various speculations about its origins. Some people thought it might be a hybrid, or affected by environmental factors like radiation, sparking widespread debate and interest online. Off the coast of Brixham, England, a fishing trawler had a dramatic encounter with a giant shark. Driven by intense hunger, the shark ignored its own safety in its desperation to feed. It was pulled from the water by the trawler's crew as it tried to snatch a bite from their catch. The shark struggled to breathe in the air, showing its determination to get some food. It took considerable effort from the crew to handle the shark and safely throw it back into the sea, where it belonged. Imagine a fish that's not just tagging along for a free ride, but is actually super smart about living in the big blue sea. This fish, called a remora, has figured out a pretty cool trick to stay safe and get food without too much hassle. It sticks to bigger sea creatures like sharks and whales. This isn't because it's lazy. It's a clever way to eat leftovers and avoid becoming dinner for other predators. Some young fishermen, who were out hoping to catch something impressive, stumbled upon this remora. They watched amazed as it effortlessly attached itself to different surfaces, showing off its unique survival skill. And there's more. The ocean's deep and dark corners are like nature's own treasure chest, full of bizarre and fascinating creatures. On one of their regular trips, a group of fishermen encountered something straight out of a fantasy book. This creature had parts that looked like a fish, some parts that reminded you of a human, and it even had a fish's tail. The fishermen made sure it couldn't swim away by tying its hands. Many people started guessing it might be a mermaid, though nobody could really figure out exactly what it was. This left everyone scratching their heads, wondering about the wonders hidden beneath the sea. From deep in the ocean to a river's edge, the next chapter shares more incredible finds. Unbelievable pink dolphin sighting. On a bright day in September 2021, some folks out watching whales got the surprise of their lives. A dolphin glowing with a pink color. This isn't something you see every day. Everyone on the boat was excited and tried to get as close as possible to snap pictures and videos. Seeing such an unusual dolphin made them feel incredibly lucky, like they had won the nature lottery. The dolphin was not alone. It was swimming with some darker dolphins, which made its pink color stand out even more. This rare sighting brought a wave of happiness and awe to everyone who witnessed it. Now here's something you don't hear about every day. Some fish, despite being severely injured, can keep swimming around as if nothing happened. In an aquarium, there was this fish that was literally half gone, like a big bite was taken out of it, but it kept swimming. Then there was another fish that was almost all gone, just a head left, but it still managed to breathe and swim. There's even a story about a fish that started moving around in the oven while it was being cooked. These fish show such incredible strength and will to keep going. It's almost hard to believe. Fishing in wild waters can turn from peaceful to terrifying in just a few moments. One fisherman was checking the water with his stick, trying to feel if there were any big predators hiding. Not convinced, he threw a stone into the water, and suddenly, a huge crocodile jumped out, expecting a meal, but found nothing but air. This is a vivid reminder of the dangers that can lurk in such waters. In another chilling event, a man kayaking in the lake thought he saw something odd in the water. When he zoomed in with his camera, a massive alligator was heading straight for him. Moments like these make you think twice about swimming in unknown waters. Over in Italy, a fisherman might have made history with a massive catch, a catfish that could be the biggest anyone has ever caught. This happened in Mantua, where the fisherman battled with his giant fish for about 40 minutes before he could finally pull it in. The fish was about 6 feet long, and there was talk that it might have set a new world record. Despite the potential fame from his catch, the fisherman decided to release the catfish back into the water, hoping to send a strong message about the importance of preserving aquatic life. But wait, there's more. Imagine catching a goldfish that's bigger than your dog. Well, a man in Britain did just that. He caught a goldfish that weighed over 67 pounds in his local lake. It turns out this wasn't your typical goldfish, but a hybrid between a leather carp and a koi carp, which explained its massive size. After showing off this unusual catch on camera, he released the giant goldfish back into the lake, a gesture that highlights the incredible diversity and scale of life in our waters. Imagine finding a fish that stands out vividly among a group of koi in Florida. That's what happened when a fish lover spotted a fish with an unusual appearance among the crowd. Curious to learn more, he placed this unique fish in its own pond to watch how it might change. Over time, it showed a remarkable transformation, likely due to a rare genetic change. This rare condition, occurring once in every 10,000 instances, gave the fish an orange head, a shiny underbelly, and patterns similar to a cheetah's spots. Over just a few months, this fish evolved significantly, and its owner eagerly awaited to see what it would look like fully grown. Pulling a massive creature from the sea can be an overwhelming experience, much like what a group of fishermen from Karnataka, India, faced when they caught an enormous manta ray, tipping the scales at about 1,650 pounds. They even had another catch that day, weighing around 550 pounds. The sheer size of their find was so extraordinary that they had to use a crane to lift the giant fish onto the shore. Unfortunately, this spectacle was met with concern from the locals, who feared for the species' future, as it is vulnerable to endangerment. Could this river monster be an undiscovered species, or is there something more sinister at play? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.